My online film student kept filming the same dead oak tree. An online film student named Jacob submitted a video that made me so horrified that I had to call the dean at 1 a.m. She advised me to turn the clip over to the police. I teach filmmaking at an art college in Maryland. During the lockdown in late 2020, my filmmaking course was online. My usual first assignment has the students film a setting. With an online class, the students just film around their houses. Most students were happy to show off their gaming setup and action figures collection. A student named Jacob put his camera on a tripod and filmed a dead oak tree in his backyard for about 5 minutes. For continuity editing, I normally have students film a chase sequence or a snowball fight. For online, students just filmed themselves cooking or playing with their pets. Jacob submitted a video of himself tying a noose. He then hung a mannequin on the same dead oak tree. I started to get creeped out, but I had to put on a brave face. Horror and film students always go hand in hand. I don't want to appear like I was easily spooked. For the next assignment, Jacob submitted a clip of a man wearing a medieval jester costume and a smiling mask, dancing around the dead oak tree. It was in black and white and was beyond disturbing. I'm used to horror movies being submitted to me by students, but those were gory and wild, and fun. This clip was just eerie. After class, Jacob messaged me privately and asked if I was sick of seeing the same tree over and over. Against my preference, I said no. If he found a muse which inspired him, then he should stick with it as long as he can. It felt like the right thing to say at the time. I found out from other professors that Jacob began incorporating the dead oak tree into all that he did. In photography class, he retouched a photo of a car crash onto a photo of a dead oak tree. In digital illustration class, he drew the dead oak tree with a bunch of people hanging from it. Meanwhile, an aspiring YouTuber named Matt asked me if he could submit a Let's Play for an assignment. I normally would say no, but because everybody was in home isolation at the time, I thought, why not? Just add a lot of narration. Matt then invited me to watch him play PUBG Live on Twitch. When I did, I was amused to see that Jacob was one of his team members. I asked Matt after the stream how he knew Jacob. Matt said that Jacob was his neighbor only a few houses down the road from him. Matt told me what happened to Jacob back when they were in middle school. Jacob was home alone and a man knocked on the door, telling Jacob that he used to live in that house. The man asked his father to build him a treehouse, and just when the father was about to finish it, he fell from the tree and broke his neck. It's been over 2 decades since he moved away, and the man told Jacob he just wanted to see the oak tree again. Jacob didn't let him inside but said that he can go around and look at it in the backyard. Jacob played video games until his parents came home, where they found the man hanging from the tree. The semester after, in early 2021, Jacob wasn't taking any of my classes, but a cinematography professor video called me about one of Jacob's videos. The assignment was to light up a night scene, and Jacob just filmed a handheld POV shot of him circling a tree with a flashlight. She told me she yelled at Jacob for submitting something like that instead of something more professional. Jacob logged off and she wondered if she had made a mistake. Other students noticed Jacob's obsession with the dead oak tree as well and started talking to me about it. They told me that Jacob also dropped from all classes. A few days later, at about 11 p.m., Matt was live streaming and I was watching him on Twitch. I was shocked to see Jacob burst through Matt's bedroom door. He was covered in cuts and bruises. Shards of glass were all over his body, and his shirt was soaked in blood. Fresh blood was still dripping down from his forehead. Matt fell out of his chair screaming at the top of his lungs, rightfully freaking out. I'll give Matt credit for not cursing and chasing Jacob out of his room. Matt asked Jacob what was wrong. Jacob looked into the camera and asked if I'm watching. He told me to check the video he submitted. There were about 20 people in the chat, some of them were my students. I had a dependable student in the chat, asking her to call 911, and told Matt to render basic first aid for Jacob. Just when I was about to call the police myself, I got a notification that someone had uploaded a large video file to our department's file storage. I opened it, and it was a video clip said to be uploaded by Jacob's username. It showed Jacob placing a camera on the backseat of his car. He turned from his driver's seat and stared into the camera. My mouth was wide open when I saw Jacob, without turning back around to face forward, just stepped on the gas and crashed into the dead oak tree.